here in lovely Greenville, South Carolina, the home of one Terrence Oglesby. We're here for the SoCon Media Day, and we are now joined by none other than Ryan Ritter, second-year head coach for Mercer. Good to see you.
Hey, great to see you guys. Good to be in person.
It is. That's what I just said. I was like, last year, couldn't do it. It was your first year in the league. We did it remote because of the storm, obviously, that hit the Asheville area. We almost had one in Charleston. I don't know if you knew that. It was supposed to be a bad one. We got nothing.
Nothing.
He's
new to the South. I keep saying this. Like, it's just going to change.
My wife freaked out. My wife was like tying stuff up on the patio and everything. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it, whatever. But better to be safe than sorry. How's life treating you here going into year 2 as opposed to a year ago? And you've done this enough. I mean, you're not new to taking over a program. This is your 4th program that you've really taken over in the last, 10 years or so?
Yeah, last 10, I guess this will be the 4th program I've taken over in, I guess, the last 11 years.
Yep.
I think the difference from, it's a lot, right?
That's a lot, man.
It is.
That's big time.
And tough I mean, that you've taken over some tough ones.
Yeah, tough ones. But I think, every job you get, you're grateful and you're appreciative, and this one was no different in terms of I think you're excited, you're fired up, you got a great respect for the league, you're trying to prep as much as you can, but the unknown of actually going in, traveling on a bus to Johnson City or Greenville, or knowing how an offense actually looks in person versus film, and so I think from a year ago to today, I think the understanding of the league, I think the understanding of how we want to create our niche in this league, I would say we're hopefully way further along than we were at this point last year.
Yeah. How much more seasoned he is right now with the media than the first time I met him. And the first time I met Coach,
was he rough?
He wasn't rough. No,
you can be honest. I mean, if he sucked, you can call him out for not being any good. It's okay.
It wasn't that, but he was at UT Martin. They were playing at Asheville, and I was calling the game. And I approached you before the game, and I don't think it was customary for something like that to happen all that often.
Yeah.
So it was like my man's guard was up the whole time, and he was like,
"Listen, I got some stories. I got some stories of the first time he was on field of 68. We'll show you some video.
We got some good ones there too. But it's like it was like I was going to give your secrets away. But no, I mean, now it's become more normalized.
I think we got beat pretty good that night.
I can't remember. But no, it's good to see you having success. Obviously, the teams that I look back on that you've had have always had talent. And this team in particular, I'm really excited about. Barack Okoji comes from Memphis. Kyle Cuffey Jr. comes from Syracuse. Like, your backcourt, just with those two guys, are really talented. And two guys that can create off the bounce and do some different things. What excited you about getting those guys on campus this summer?
Well, I think, you got to look at last year, look at a reflection of, we played, 18 conference games. We're 6-12, and I think of those 18 games, I think 11 of them came down to, a possession or two in the last minute or two. So we weren't super far off from from win-loss record, we were super far off. But from a actual competitive standpoint, a couple things go different. Maybe we feel a lot different about the season, but what it did is it allowed us to reflect and say, okay, hey, here's the truth. Where were we limited at? What do we need to get better? And I think when it came down to it, we had to have multiple guys that could create off the bounce for us. We became really reliant on one or two guys last year, and I think with this year's group and really the best teams I've had, we've had 2 or 3 horses, and we've had some really tough dudes around them. And so we went at some guys this summer. Obviously, some guys who put the ball in the bucket, but they've got great toughness to them.
Zaire Williams is somebody who comes back.
Perfect segue.
Right. Tough. Obviously, comes from Wagner, tough kid. He's one of those that you want to build around this year, isn't he?
He is a dog.
Yeah.
Zaire Williams fits me. Yep. He's tough. He's a great kid. He's getting his MBA right now. Pound for pound, man, I think we've got, I'm talking about 2 guys that I think are really 2 of the toughest kids I've coached, and there's physically, mentally, I mean, he's the same dude every day, and you don't know if he's 3 of 13 or 9 of 10, and he just he fits the way what we want to build towards.
A guy that I saw play early, and I saw some of his high school film before he went to Boston College. Then he goes to Central Michigan. He's never really gotten his feet under him in his college career. Armani Mighty. There's some tools there. What do we have to do to kind of open up this guy's game a little bit?
Great question. It's funny. We do as much research. We eval. We watch film. We talk to the guys that we trust. And You're right. It's an absolute unknown. You're watching about 91 clips in 2 years at Boston College. I hope I'm not wrong to say this too early. He's got some major tools. He's a kid that wants to get better. He's coachable. I would suspect he has one heck of a year for us. He's got a chance to be one of the best bigs I've coached in the last 11 years.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in preseason at BC and saying, man, he was raw. He was definitely raw.
The tools, though.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, he was a guy that you could project down the road, and it almost feels like this is the right time for him to finally get that opportunity. And for those who haven't seen him, kind of describe his game a little bit.
Well, you talk about tools. I think the thing that's his motor. Yeah. I mean, he's 6'10", 240 pounds, and he has high IQ. So when you're a guy with IQ and motor, that translates anywhere. But he's really good around the rim. The ball's a magnet to his hands off the glass, so I think he's got a chance to really rebound the ball, protect the rim, and he's getting better scoring around the rim. That wasn't something we really necessarily saw on film. Yeah. But I'll give the kid credit, man. He works with a lot with our staff, with Jonathan Mitchell individually, or specifically, and he's getting really good at finishing around the rim. So his motor is the thing that is just really separates him, though.
I think the tools, there might be one player in the league that could measure up with those tools, and I think it's Cooper Bowser over at Furman. I think that's, as far as just natural gifts and natural ability, is he going to be able to take that next step?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You have a good weekend this past weekend?
I had a great weekend, Jeff.
Your brother got married.
My brother
Congrats.
got married.
Let's give a shout out to Reed, right?
Reed Cameron, he absolutely out-recruited. He's
Hey, I've met your wife. Both of you have out-recruited.
No doubt. And, my wife is... She's the best, man. I mean, following, you said 4 different jobs in 11, 12 years, a bunch of different kids and houses. But yes, back to the weekend. My brother got married. Congrats, Reed, Cam. Had our staff there, had a bunch of family friends, and it was really special for us.
We got to give a shout out to Reed. Reed, who's also on Ryan's staff, which is kind of cool. You don't see that a ton, right, these days, where you have your brother and you're kind of give me kind of the dynamic.
That's a strange.
Give me the dynamic there, and if there are any full out battles. I once. I'm going to go back here. I heard these stories years ago. I don't know if you heard them. Huh? Seth Greenberg and Brad Greenberg. They had some shouting matches back when they were at Virginia Tech. Any of those?
I think Seth shouts at everybody.
Shouts at me.
Shouts at me too.
So I'm 9 years older than Reed.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm 9 years older.
Are you 9?
I'm 9.
I didn't realize it was that.
So that's a different dynamic.
Wow.
And he's the youngest, so we get it all the time. Like, man, did you guys pick on him growing up? And I was like, guys, I was 18. He's 9.
Young.
Like, what are we picking on? So, no, it's funny. We got a great working relationship. He's sharp. He's really smart. Works really hard. He's organized in what he does. The last 3 years we've worked together, and there's probably been 1 or 2 occasions where I was just like, hey, man, I'm not telling you as my brother right now. I'm actually telling you as my boss. This is what we're going to do.
Shut up. One of those. Hey, enough.
Probably a little more emotion and passion behind it. But, no, man, it's an awesome dynamic. It's
got to be 9 years because, again, you didn't grow up with him. You were so much older.
The arguments are different
right.
at that.
Right.
I love that. This is the first time we're actually having real arguments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's right.
That's interesting. No, I can't imagine working with my brother. Of course, I don't know if you've met my brother.
I'm not.
Different circumstance.
Okay.
He's a Wildcat. What excites you about about this season outside of the talent? We've talked to so many other coaches so far about the league, the coaches, the playing styles, how they differ. What's that challenge like for you as a coach? You understand you got to get your players, but as preparation is concerned and all those things, how is it different in this league?
Well, I think the unique part is when I got the job last year, everyone in the league was returning their best players. And so you're excited, you want to have a chance to compete at the top. But the reality is, everybody was bringing their 1, 2, 3 guys back. And similar to when I was at UT Martin, when Belmont and Murray left the league, it really felt like, hey, everybody's got a real chance to win.
Yeah.
And, I
feel that way now a little bit.
Yeah, obviously, we're going to have a tremendous league.
Sure.
Unbelievable coaches, great programs.
But last year, you just felt like, hey, we're running a big uphill battle here.
Yeah, and I think for us, obviously, we know they're going to be really, really, really strong. But there's so much newness that I feel like we have a real chance to compete towards that top of the league right now.
Well, do you feel like, too, almost you have a little bit of an advantage because you've had to do this so often? You were a JUCO coach, so you had to do it every year in JUC. And now, even over the last few years, you've had to rebuild and had a lot of turnover at all these places, right? At Bethune, certainly, you had it. So you're probably a little bit more prepared to handle this new changing landscape than, let's face it, some of these SoCon head coaches that haven't really dealt with it.
Yeah, I think we get a lot of questions and a lot of commentary about the landscape of college basketball. But the truth is, like you said, this landscape actually fits my career path so far.
Right.
And it wasn't something that I designed, hey, I'm going to go be junior college and I'll be at Bethune-Cookman, UT Martin. But I do think it's actually prepared me. Roster turnover, I'd love to retain 9, 10 guys every year. I think we all would. I wanted to retain them in junior college.
As long as they're 9 or 10 good players.
Yeah, we want to retain those
Exactly.
ones.
Not everybody.
Yeah. But, I think it does. I think the experiences obviously help, propel. It doesn't guarantee anything, but I feel very comfortable in this landscape.
I go back and look at your time at Tennessee Martin. 8 wins year one, 19-21. This past season for you guys, 14 wins. Without the retention, but is it something about figuring out the campus that you're on, whether it's Martin, whether it's Mercer, that kind of leads to that incline in win totals?
Yeah, I think each job's different.
Sure.
You got to have your non-negotiables, but you got to have a flexible approach. And I think finding your niche at your particular school, conference, whatever it is, and I think we found that. I won't go into detail, but I think last February we took a tough one, and I was about a 6-hour bus ride home, and I'm thinking, and it really hit me. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get there this year, but I know the route that we've got to give ourselves a chance to compete at the top. And so, I think that's definitely accurate.
Terrence, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Can you bench 225 pounds?
Yeah.
You can?
No doubt.
Did you know that only 1.6% of the world can bench 225 pounds?
I wasn't aware of that exact percentage, but sure.
Did you know that he's part of that 1.6% also?
Not shocked.
He did it recently.
Really?
Yes. Go ahead, expand.
We can do it right now.
All right.
We should do it right now.
Bring it in here.
I thought that
We have 225.
We missed an opportunity is what we did.
Bench press, TON. I'm close to 225 right now. You want to see me bench me?
I'm not picking up good.
Yeah, you say 225?
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to leave that one here or not.
All right.
So we've got I would say a pretty young, energetic staff. I think we got great chemistry. We get after each other. We work hard, but we come to the office, and guys know that I like a good challenge. And so we got one of our assistants comes out with the stats, says, "Hey, did you guys know only 1.6% of people can bench press 225?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, let's go figure it out." So we went up, 7 of us. I hadn't touched a weight in, I don't know, years. So I get up to the weight room. Our strength coach's up there pumping up the jams. We're all fired up, and I'm like, guys, this ain't going to be good.
You have no idea.
I have no idea if I can do it
or not.
But I do have 3 daughters. So I was like, I feel like I'm pretty strong. You got daughters, you're going to be strong. So sure enough, man, we had 7 dudes up there, one after the other. And so we get all done, and we're like, how many other Division I staffs can bench 225? We're all jacked up. One's like, ain't going to help you win.
Exactly.
But we felt great about it that day.
Who was the one who struggled? Who struggled out of the 7? Who was the one that had to maybe take that?
We actually, man,
all of you did it, no problem.
We got it pretty
easy,
good, man. I mean, I didn't realize we had some hosses in there.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So then we did go down the SoCon list, and I wonder if this. And we had some guys that thought, man, they probably got some pretty strong staffs over.
And then you probably had a couple that
So
I'll let you guys
hold on.
You're thinking can Lenny Acuff bench 225?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to find. Maybe next year when we come back to SoCon Media Day,
there's going to be a bench.
Maybe we need to have everybody. A little bit of a contest.
Just a good old meat
between the head coaches.
He's probably cutting down the net again, and he's going to be laughing at our barbells. But
That's right.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking about your staff going through everybody from head coach down to Dobo, measuring the guy up in his company picture and his tie, whether or not he could bench press.
From now on, He's only going to hire people that he knows can bench 225.
Okay, so this is probably a question you're not going to answer, but was there any staff that you're just like, there's no chance?
You can't go there.
I'm going to go on the flip side. I'm going to say we thought Andrew Wilson was had a chance.
Easy. VMI?
We thought come on. We thought UNCG, they got some big dudes on that sideline. We thought they could get after it pretty good. So I didn't really go down the line, but those are the two that stuck out. I'm like, they're definitely in the 1.6%.
That's my first question to Bob Ritchie when he sits down. What's your bench?
Do you think Bob can do it?
The information that the people really want to know here.
Do you think Bob could do it?
I think he's like right on that edge. He's on that 215 to 225 edge.
We're going to have to ask him. We will ask him later. That might be a question for everybody.
That should be the first question.
Right, to everybody. Everybody sits down. Can you bench 225?
What's your bench?
Yeah, what's your bench? Sure. Well, listen, great seeing you, as always, and good luck this season. Great having you here at SoCon Media Day, and I think
one of the most talented rosters in the conference.
Well, I think he's got a roster, and you know this. Like, I think you got a roster now that you feel like fits you. And sometimes that's more important than anything else, because when you get the job, you're scrambling. You are scrambling. You're taking whoever you can get. In this offseason, I feel like you could breathe a little bit and kind of target certain guys where you're not just taking guys like you were a year ago. So good luck this season. Ryan Ritter, congrats to, again, Reed Ritter, his brother, for getting married. And we'll be back after this, SoCon Media Day.